Good morning, everybody. I hope you have enjoyed your last weekend, and I also hope everybody could go through the previous lectures in last weekend. Please prove that you have gone through the lectures through comments in the group. With due respect, I would like to repeat, those who are not listening to these lectures may opt exiting the group. We are tracking the responses seriously, and according to the set norm, we shall start expelling the individuals who have missed to comment on 3 lectures from today. But definitely, they can continue accessing the YouTube playlist as per the convenience and message me personally in case of any queries. What they will miss out is the peer-to-peer learning opportunity via this real-time discussions. And we are also preparing a documented diary of the mindful discussions that are happening in this group, which will be shared at the end of this course with all the attendees. Today's topic is another important topic, different diseases. Before going there, let me recap the topics which are already covered. Initially, we tried to understand what is nature cure with a few associated myths. We tried to explore the rationality of why nature cure discards germ theory and accepts soil theory as its foundation. We also rationalize the fallacy of deficiency theory. In the process, there were some questions related to the supporting data. I wish I could present some more affirmation on that. Here is my rationality. In most of the proposing phenomena in nature cure are established rationally. The approach of nature cure is completely individualistic, based on individual's perception, analytical habit, understanding, and finally experiencing. The suggestions of nature cure are always non-violent intervention and never endanger the lives of client. Hence, by practicing the recommendations by the nature cure practitioners, doesn't risk the individual for anything. Eventually, when the individual relishes the benefits of the newer lifestyle, the trust increases, and as a psychological output, the behavior gets a permanency. In today's topic of different diseases, we shall cover phases of disease, stages of disease, and finally convergence of the idea of disease. So let's start. The tagline is, your body is your best friend. Indeed it is. Whatever you do, your body tries to give you a positive state and considers your existence as master's state, master's existence. You are the master of your body. That is why if you do anything harmful to your body, which may cause negative experience to yourself, is an endeavor of the body to bring the positive state of homeostasis for yourself. What we perceive as disease is an example of that endeavor. We cannot avoid toxin inputs in our body completely. Nature has equipped us with the measures of eliminating toxins on a regular basis. We have millions of pores in our body which are used to input and output both. The regular output of eliminating materials happen through stool, urine, sweat, mucus depositions in nose and eyes. Whenever the input of toxins goes proportionally high in comparison to the output, our body opens a few special elimination channels. Those are considered as acute diseases. Those special arrangements are fever, flu, loose motions, and sense of pain. These give some discomforts, ask us to rest ourselves so that the initiative of the body does not go in vain. Maximum of these healing crises stay for 3 days. Our vitality, which triggers these diseases, expects us to rest. The rest in 3 ways: physically, physiologically, and psychologically. Physically, we should go to the bed and rest. Physiologically, we should stop eating so that we don't use our vitality in the process of digestion and delay the healing process. Psychologically, we need to maintain a positive image of healthy us at the end of this healing crisis. Now comes to the next phase, chronic. The acute disease gets converted to chronic when we continue suppressing the acute disease. As I have mentioned, our body tries hard to give us a positive experience every moment unless we cross the limit. Whenever we suppress the acute disease in terms of administering any type of medicine, it gives a pseudo feeling of cure. But since the problem was not eliminated, it gets stored in the body and evolves as chronic disease in long term. On last Saturday, I was conducting a workshop on this topic only, where I was asked by one of the participants that if I have a flight to catch and unable to move due to fever, shouldn't I take a paracetamol and get rid of the fever? Here is my answer. Nature doesn't know about your flight appointment. It has more important tasks to perform. It sensed that you need a healing crisis at that moment to maintain your homeostasis. That's why it triggered that particular acute disease at that point in time. Ideally, you should cancel your trip and rest. Due to some specific conditioning, you may think that it is very important trip and is impossible to cancel. Then go ahead with your decision. But do remember to come back to nature's norm in next possible future. Nature will definitely trigger the same healing crisis again in its next possible opportunity. Remember, the emergency situations are temporary and it's a creation of our mind. Take control of your life naturally whenever you get chance. Hold it tight. Now let's understand the stages of disease. It will also include the process of eruption of acute disease to the conversion of acute disease to chronic disease. The first stage is innervation, which is depletion of energy. It is when not enough energy comes in and too much energy goes out, it erupts. Energy is the essence of life. Our body needs two forms of energy to survive and carry out its function. It's a chemical energy and the nerve energy. To keep our energy up, we need to have enough rest and know how to manage our stress level. There are 5 main areas where our body uses its energy: thinking, movement, digestion, metabolism, and the elimination process. The second stage of disease is toxemia. Toxemia is accumulation of uneliminated toxins. Toxins come from two sources. One is internal toxin from our own metabolism, which produces carbon dioxide and all those stuff. And second is external toxin, which is food pesticides, chemicals in air and water, and obviously in medicines. This is the acute stage of disease. In this stage, body erupts some acute and intense elimination process in forms of fever, flu, etc. that we have already discussed. The reason of this stage is incapable elimination process due to drainage of energy or innervation, which is caused by the excessive toxin input. Now coming to the third stage, which is irritation. When toxemia continues to some period, it creates obstruction of required assimilation in body's cell. When some part of the body does not get required elements from the inputs of air, water, food, sunlight and cosmic radiations, it starts irritating. Some warning signals are itchy skin, nausea, jumpy feeling, prolonged nervousness, depression, anxiety and worry, frequent headache, minor aches and pains, more difficulty falling asleep, putting on weight, coated tongue, bad breath, increased body odor, sallow complexion, dark circle under the eyes, irregular or heavier menstrual flow. So I can go on and on of these nomenclatures of irritations. You can relate to yourself. Now, when these three stages are ignored continuously and lifestyle is not corrected, the onset of fourth stage happens: inflammation. Inflammation is body's intense effort to cleanse itself. The bodily acute response or warning is pain. With inflammation, the toxins in our body have usually been concentrated in a particular area for a massive elimination. The word itis means inflammation of. You might be able to correlate a lot of medical terms of disease ending with itis as arthritis, colitis, gastritis, etc. So these are not anything else but inflammation stage of toxemia or the disease. The fifth stage is ulceration. We need to remember the next stage appears when the prior stage is ignored or suppressed. When our body senses expulsion of toxins because of overaccumulation, suppressions and ignorance, it finds a regular pores or orifices are not enough. Then it breaks down the skin and erupts some ulcer through which the destroyed cells are expelled out of the body. So this is what is ulceration. Then coming to the sixth stage, it's induration or hardening. Induration is the thickening and hardening of the tissues when our body attempts to protect itself. The suppression of above stage triggers this particular stage. The toxic material is ring-fenced in a sac of hardened tissue to stop it from spreading freely throughout the body. We often call these as tumor, growth or fibroid. If we do not take corrective measures at this stage, then it proceeds further to intensify its effort. And the final stage is the fungation, or we call it cancer also. Continuous knowing or unknowing suppression triggers this stage. Lack of aerobic process in some specific area of full body, some specific area or full body in rare cases triggers anaerobic process inside the body, where body cells starts eating its own cell to survive. This stage is usually fatal unless the intense reversal is actuated. Now, at any stage of disease, the reversal is very much possible. The reversal happens in the same reversing order, from fungation to hardening to ulceration to inflammation to irritation and to further toxemia and finally cure. Here I come to the final slide of today's lecture. The converging cone in front of you, it's a horizontal cone, will help you to understand how the popular knowledge of diseases can be converged to a single disease. In biggest trapezium of this horizontal cone, you see all medicinal understanding of diseases are written. These all identify thousands of diseases and keep on adding names of diseases in the list by considering every part of body as independent, unlike the holistic approach of nature cure. The smaller trapezium I have placed herbalism or naturopathy, which is closer to nature cure but not the same. It identifies three diseases. As enervation, which is depletion of energy, is considered as a disease here. Toxemia, the accumulation of toxin beyond limit, and the deficiency as deficiency of some specific element in the body. This particular last disease of naturopathy is completely contradictory to the understanding of nature and nature's own cue. We have discussed in fallacy of deficiency theory already. Now coming to the nature cure identifies only a single disease, which is toxemia. And this toxemia is triggered by innervation, which is caused by excessive toxin inputs through faulty lifestyle. Hence, as per nature, there is only one disease and only one cure, which is correction in lifestyle. We would study deep on the corrective measures in forthcoming lectures. Till then, happy learning. And remember, this learning is life-changing learning. Trust me. You will realize the actual potential of yours and become more and more self-reliant to lead a healthy and happy life. I wish everybody to find solution of their problems in their own psyche, not in something external. I welcome your questions and doubts. Thank you.